I pray by a power that this world does not know. I fast by a power that humanity is not aware of. Apostle, I'm struggling with sickness. Go to that which is written. Open your Bible. Find out there were sick people in the Bible who were healed. What did they do? This world is not designed for spirits. It's a three-dimensional framework of existence. Three-dimensional entity. So in case a spirit has jurisdiction within this context, a man permitted that spirit to function. In fact, prayer is earthly permission for heavenly interference.
So the young Gideon, just like Jeremiah, is now complaining. Look at the understanding that kept that guy. You see, one of the reasons why they were slaves was not just that they were weak people. There was an understanding that encouraged that slavery. And as soon as God approached him to talk to him, listen to his complaint. He said, I am the least, and then I am from the least family. Don't come and flatter me with such an elaborate and ambitious agenda that I will go to save the nation of Israel from the Midianites. And God encouraged him, and he said, well, I have a problem. Our fathers once told us that they advanced, they did this, they conquered nations, they saw miracles. Why have we not seen this kind of thing? And he told him, go in this your might. You know what he was telling him? He said, this ability to begin to probe into why the miracles stop is strength for you. Don't stop thinking, don't stop pondering. Start asking that question, because there is a secret in it. The might there was his understanding. Understanding is might. It was not just an impartation. It says, go in your might. I have seen that you sustain another kind of spirit, because most of the people kept being slaves, not asking why the miracles stopped. They didn't ask why the miracles happened in the first place. So he's saying, Gideon, there is something happening to your understanding that is equal to might. You are probing into why things that were happening now stopped. Do you know most people do not have this grace, this might of superior understanding? Even if you do not have result, the ability to start vetting why it stopped and why it happened is power. Are we together? So you find out that in January every day was favor, and then February it stops, and you do not ask a question. The first question is, why did it happen? The second question is, why did it stop? Once upon a time in my life, everybody would call me and bless me, but now it looks like the same people are still around my vicinity, but no one seems to beckon on me. In this thy might, the courage to ask questions, to say our fathers told us, I've not forgotten it, is still in my memory, that a time came in the history of Israel they were invincible. Their enemies would see them and begin to shake, because there was a hand that was with them. Why have we not seen it? He was asking the angel. And remember, it's out of the abundance of the heart that the mouth speaks. That means that as he was stretching in that weakness and that limitation, his mind was rejecting that level. He was asking a question, why am I like this? Can I tell you this? I'm sorry to say, but respectfully speaking, it is one of the reasons why many people in Africa don't move forward. We don't ask questions. Why am I like this? No favor, no grace. Why is ministry not growing? Why is my spiritual life not growing? Can I tell you, one of the most superior knowledge that you can have is how to learn what you don't know, how to find out, and how to learn what you do not know, how to ask the questions that bring the right answers. Most believers accept status quo and give it some superstitious explanation. Well, I'm sure God just wants it to be that way, or well, I'm sure it's the devil. But that in itself is not enough answer. Many of us here seated looking at me, you once heard my grandfather was a wealthy man, he was a blessed man, he was the greatest in the village, but now the family is the poorest, and no one, you have not accessed that might that Gideon had to ask questions. What did he do that made the results happen? What did he stop doing that made the result stop? What was I doing that made me so powerful that my spiritual life kept growing from level to level. It was palpable that I was growing. The Bible says, how shall we escape if we neglect carelessness? So great is salvation. Many people who fail do not ask what they are doing or not doing. Many people who succeed short term don't study their results, they only celebrate it. Can I tell you this? Celebrating success without thoroughly understanding the dynamics around it, you are only implicating yourself for casualty. And it is painful to one's was there. It is painful to one's rejoice. It is painful to one's taste of the grace of God. Are you learning something tonight?